So today I am going to talk about SQL, one of the prerequisites we will be requiring for the advanced data management technology, right? You people have already learned this in second year, third semester. That's why in a very quick way I will revise it. So in this chapter, what we are going to study, we are going to study the data definition, the basic query structure, the set operation, aggregate function, what do you mean by views, and what do you mean by modifications of the database. Okay. So these are the domain types. I can say these are nothing but the domain, the data types. I can say domain types. There are character means fixed length character of size n, variable length character of size n, integer, small int, which is a subpart of integer, then numeric, where I will be having a p digit number, out of which d digits will be after the decimal point, and float for fractional numbers. Then this is the create table. Whenever we want to create a table, we generally write what? Create table, and whatever the attributes, whatever the name you want to give, that name you need to write here. In example, you will have a very clear idea where I am going to provide the three attributes. The first one is branch name, second one is branch city, and third one is the third name is assets. Okay, and the accordingly the domain names I have given. Then the integrity constraints are there. What do you mean by integrity constraints? Suppose you want to write a particular attribute value as null, then we need to write there that, if we want to make, if you want to write the values of the attribute should not be null in any case, then we must write that particular attribute should not be null. Okay. And then primary key. So in the previous lectures I have told you what do you mean by primary key. Okay, so the example also I have given here, and I have the primary key I have selected as branch name. Then drop and alter table. What is the difference between drop and alter? Whenever we drop it, I can drop a table or I can drop some of the attributes in that table, right? That is the use of drop. And alter table means what? Whenever we require to add some attribute or delete some attribute, we can do it by using alter table. Okay. Then this is the query structure. Select the attribute from whatever the relation, and where p is the predicate. So predicate means whatever the condition we want to apply, that you can apply. Okay. Then this is the select clause. The select clause is used to select the list of attribute which we require in our query. Here the example has been taken. Select branch name from loan. Loan is nothing but the relation which I am using, relation or table I can say. Then if you want to remove the duplicate entries, then we need to use the distinct keyword. So here I have taken the example, select distinct branch name from loan. So whatever the distinct entries will be there, mean to say the duplicate entries will be removed automatically by using the distinct keyword. Then select star. Star means what? Whatever, whenever we want to select everything, a full table, all attributes in the table, then we write here what? Then we write star. Or if you don't want to write star, then whatever the attributes are there, those all attributes we need to select, we need to write. Okay. Then where clause is used for selecting, to giving the predicates, to giving the result, to give the predicates, to give the conditions, whatever the conditions we want to apply. For example, if I want to find the loan number for which full loan numbers which are made at the Perry Ridge branch, and the amount is greater than 1200, so I am going to select the loan number from, I can say, the loan relation, where branch name must be Perry Ridge and amount should be greater than 200. Here also I can use between whenever I want to provide the range. So you people have already learned. That's why in a very quicker way I will go. From clause, from which particular relation we want to select the data. That's why we use the from clause. Then rename operation, as we have studied in the relational algebra, whenever we are writing this, whenever we are writing row, right? Row we are using it in a to rename the operation in relational algebra, but in SQL we write it as, right? For example, if I want to rename the loan number as loan ID, the loan number as loan ID, then we can do in this way by using the as keyword. Then I am having some tuple variable. What is the use of tuple variable? It is like rename only. So whenever I want to use a symbol, a simple variable for a complex attribute, at that time I can use this tuple variable. For example, select distinct t. Here you can read this particular query. What I am doing here, select distinct. I want to remove the duplicate entries from where? From t dot branch. But what do you mean by this t? Now here he has given, see, you can see from branch as t, means this branch I am reading is as t, right? And from branch as s. So I am going to create some tuples of that. Okay. Then these string operations, there are different string operations are there. One is percent. Percent is used for matching the substring, right, or part of the string, and underscore is used for matching the character. For example, if I want to match, if I want to match main as a substring, right, if I want to match main as a substring in any of the tuple, then what I am going to write, select customer name from customer, where customer street is like, here I have written mod, means percent main percent. So main will be a substring. So whenever I will be getting main as a substring, those particular tuples will be selected as a output, right? Likewise, the underscore is there. Then order by clause, that you or for it is used for ordering or sorting the data in either ascending or descending order. So by default, if I am writing here order by customer name only, so it will be by default sort the customer name in ascending order. But if I write here descend, DESC, right, then it will be sorting the customer name in descending order. Right. So mean to say, order in order by clause, by default the data will get sorted in a ascending fashion. But if we need to sort it out in a descending manner, then we must write what, DESC there, so that the data will get sorted out. Then there are set operations like union, intersect, and except. Right. Union all, intersect all, and except all. So these are the set operations. For in the example you have clear idea, that's why I am directly skipping this particular part. If I am writing now, select customer name from depositor, here one relation I am using as depositor and one relation I am using as borrower, right? From both these relation I want to select the customer name, so here I am doing union, right? One more example, if I want to select what, I want to find out all the customers who have both loan and account, so here I am selecting depositor and here I am selecting borrower. But what I require only borrower, that's why I am going to intersect, right? Here I want to have all customers, right, who have loan and account both. Then aggregate functions, this we have already studied already told you in the previous, in the when we have discussed the relational algebra. I am having average, mean, max, sum, count, right? And the aggregate function, the aggregate for the one of the example, let me take it here. Select average, so average is nothing but the aggregate function, which I am going to apply on what, I am going to apply on balance. So whatever the balance from account relation is there, account table, from account table whatever the balance attribute is there, on that balance attribute I am going to apply the aggregate function, so it will give me the average of balance, right? Then I want to count the number of tuples in the customer relation, so from customer relation all the tuples I am going to select. So from I am, and all the tuples I am going to count it, right? That's why count star means select all the tuples but I want to count it, so that's why I am writing count before the star. Likewise, I want to count the number of depositors in the bank. So I want here I have written count, but I want to have a distinct name because duplicate entries should be count as duplicate entries should not get counted. Okay. Then having clause. So what is the use of having clause? If I want to apply a particular condition on the numerical values, then we are generally writing the having clause. Not numerical value, any on any value we can apply. Then what do you mean by views? That also you people have learned in second year. Views are nothing but sometimes what happens, sometimes in a bigger table I don't require the whole data. Out of that only some part of the some part or some attribute I'll require, not whole attribute. Right? For example, in a banking sector, whenever we are in a banking sector, when we go and when we print the data, when we print the passbook, so all the details will not be there, right? आपल्याला जेवढे लागतात तेवढेच एंट्रीज तिथे असतात, तेवढ्याच एंट्रीज म्हणण्यापेक्षा तेवढेच ॲट्रिब्यूट्स तिथे असतात. क्रेडिट किती केले, डेबिट किती केले, अमाऊंट क्रेडिट झाली की डेबिट झाली अँड बॅलन्स एवढाच असतो. पण ऑन दी बँक एंड देर आर अदर डिटेल्स ऑल्सो, right? From our end we will be getting only what reference number whenever a transaction will get performed, but on the bankers on the banking end, on the bankers end, there will be everything available on which particular ATM the cash has been withdrawn, or which particular person has transferred to which particular account. All this data is available on the bankers end, but to our end only a particular data, only particular attribute, only a particular part of the table will be available. That is nothing but the view. Okay. So it is, I can say it is the view is also called as a virtual relation. Why it is called as virtual relation? Because actually a table is there, but out of that table only some part I am fetching it out. That's why it is called as view. Okay. This is the way to create the view. Create view v as, and whatever the query we want to apply or whatever the attribute we want to fetch, that we can fetch it out. Okay. Then these are certain join operations. Already we have in the previous lecture only I have told you what do you mean by join and which are the different join operations. So that also we are going to discuss. The first one is the natural join. Right. I am having two relations. The first one is the same example, loan and borrower, that we have discussed in the yesterday's class. I am having loan and borrower, but out of that you can see here for this L260, right? I am having a borrower information, right? I don't have the borrower information. Here I don't have the borrower name. Is it so? For 260 borrower name is not there. You can see for L170 borrower the customer name is Jones. For L230 the customer name is Smith, right? But for L260 there is no customer name. The customer name is available for what? The customer name Hayes is available only for loan number 155, not for 260. Okay, and in the borrower relation you can see I am having a loan number 155. Here I am having the customer name, but I don't have the branch name and amount. So there are certain missing information in both. So here you can see the missing information. The borrower information is missing for L260 and loan information is missing for L155. Okay, now I am going to apply the inner join. So whenever we are going to apply the inner join, means what? Whatever the common part is there. So you can see I am having loan number here, I am having loan number here, right? So this common part will be there, but out of this the data should be present in both the tables. So for L270 I am having, for L230 I am having. So L170, L230, whatever the data is there, that will get it out in the form of result of the query. So this is the result of the query, you can see. If I apply left outer join, so what is the mean of left outer join? Whenever we apply the left outer join, whatever the table which is on the left side, whatever the table, I can say whenever I apply loan with borrower, so loan, whenever I apply this is my left outer join. In the yesterday's class I have told you. So there is a loan, so I am going to consider loan right? And whatever the loan numbers are there in the loan relation, that I am going to select, and for that if I am not getting the values, I am going to write it as null. Okay, so this is the left outer join which I am going to apply on the borrower and loan relation. So that's why loan dot loan number, what is the common attribute? The common attribute loan number. So that's why from loan attribute, from loan table loan number, and from borrower table loan number should be same, then and then only it will get applied. Okay, likewise I am having in the right outer join. So for right outer join I am getting here L170, 230 and 155, right? But here you can see I am having 170, 230 and 260. So here I am having 260 and here I am having 135. So you can see I am having branch name as null and amount as null, but the customer name is there. Here you can see branch name is there, amount is there, but customer name is not there and loan number is not there. Okay, then this is the full outer join. So full outer join means what? Full outer join means complete relation with the combination, the complete combination of two. I am going to join two relations together. So there are four loan numbers, 170, 230, 260 and 155. Only the way of writing is this, right? You can see, not this one. The way of writing is this: loan full outer join borrower using loan number. So there must be a common attribute whenever we are joining. Okay, so this is all about the